So, welcome Amit to this session. And as I said, thanks again for taking out time in the middle of R1 applications for PGP. Uh, for the sake of everyone present here, Amit, if you'd introduce yourself to people.
Sure.
Many are
So,
meeting you for the first time.
sure. So I'm Amit Tyagi. I'm the Senior Associate Director for Admissions at Indian School of Business. And I lead the admissions for the full-time programs at ISB, that is the PGP and the PGP Young Leaders. And I've been in the education industry for the past almost 2 decades now. I have 2 decades of work experience, especially in education. It's more than 15 years now. Uh, at ISB, I'm here for the last 6 years as part of the admissions team and admissions and marketing team. And happy to interact with all of you and answer as many questions as I can. And happy to interact with you, Anshul, as well for PGPYL students' benefit.
Okay, so Amit, we will do it as we used to do for all the sessions in the past. Since 3 years, you have been supporting our community. So I have a couple of questions, not much,
Hmm.
which we will discuss, and I will leave it open for all the
Sure,
participants here to ask the questions to you directly. So
sure.
Amit, for the first batch has started. So how does that batch profile looks like in general? Of course, we can go and read on the website as well, but
Yeah, yeah.
how has the
Yeah.
batch
So
been?
it's a very diverse batch that we have, and it was a conscious decision by us to keep the batch sizes small in the initial few years and to restrict it to one campus because we don't want to, you know, split a smaller number of students across two campuses, and we want you to have maximum peer interaction as part of your cohort. So we have 130 people on board for last year's batch, for the current batch on campus, of which, if you look at their profiles, we have people, 47% are engineers, 53% are non-engineers. We have people from the sciences, we have people from law, we have people from medical background, we have people from management side. And it's a very diverse cohort, which we usually, if you see a PGP cohort, it will always be diverse because of our holistic application process. And our belief that, learning is not just through lectures or not just in the classrooms, but also through peers in the batch. And hence we have a very diverse cohort, and diversity extends not just to your function, your education backgrounds, but also in terms of gender. 50% are women, 50% are men in the cohort, and
Mhm.
also in terms of test scores. So, as by now, a lot of people know, I think a lot of people on the call also will know that we're not a school which looks specifically at test scores. We don't shortlist you basis test scores and then look at you. We shortlist you basis an overall profile score, and that ensures that even if your test scores are lower, or if your one factor is lower, we can cover up with other parameters. So if you look at that in terms of three tests that you've taken, GMAT average is 677. Although the range is a bit tighter compared to PGP, the minimum starts from 625, maximum is 765, which is around the 100 percentile. GRE, we have 337 as the maximum, 319 is the minimum, and around 327 is the median for the cohort.
327.
Is the median, yes.
Okay. What
For
about cat?
for CAT, as coming to that, for CAT, we have 96.17 is the minimum for the cohort, 99.95 is the maximum, and 99.19 is the average scores for CAT for in the cohort. So this also showcases that it's not just about CAT scores or GMAT scores or GI scores. It's a holistic application that you need to work on, including your essays, including the narrative that you have in the interview, and so on and so forth. That's important for our admission process.
Okay. So thanks a lot, Amit. That gave a lot of perspective to all of us. Now, let's go back to the process again.
Hmm.
Once someone submits the application with their GMAT, GRE, or CAT score and their essays, the three essays that have been provided, how is the evaluation process done? What do you do next?
So we look at a few parameters like your ACADS, and there's a detailed academic profile. We look at not just your scores. We look at your 12th. We look at your undergrad degree, undergrad institution, undergrad scores. We moderate those scores across universities and degrees and institutions, and then we arrive at your academic profile. we look at your there's no work profile for PGPYL students,
Right.
regardless of whatever work you have done, whether it's 2 months, zero, or whether it's exactly 24 months, you get no additional score for work. But then we have what we call your essays grading, and in that we look at a lot of qualities or attributes of the candidate. So we look at your personal attributes, we look at your skill sets through internships and other things. So people who have work experience might actually gain in those areas in terms of skill sets, but doesn't mean that somebody who doesn't have work experience cannot get those skill sets. So we look at certain attributes like your leadership potential. And when I say leadership potential, a lot of people confuse this with
Yeah.
designation, that I was a president, I was this. It's not that. It is about initiative, and it is about how influence, were you able to influence people in various capacities? Could be in a project, could be did you take initiative to drive an outcome? Did you inspire people to achieve a particular outcome? So those examples are also leadership. It's not a formal leadership like a designation, a club, and so on and so forth. Then we look at problem solving skill sets. It will come through projects, through internships. It will come through work that you do at NGOs. We are looking at things like creative thinking or out of the box thinking in terms of how different projects or initiatives you have worked on. We are looking at things like your entrepreneurial or creative mindset. So if you have a startup, if a work, or if you have taken initiatives in different projects, all that comes under that particular aspects. So these are a few things that we look at. So what I advise the candidates is, when you attempt the essays or when you enter your activities in the application form, look at what attributes or what qualities you're trying to showcase and build a narrative around it. It should not be the other way around. You don't say, I did this. Say, I am this, so I want to give an example of this from this activity. That's what is more important. And then once we have all those things in place, so your ACADs, your test scores, your essays, your activities, and so on and so forth, we build a profile score, and shortlisting happens on the profile score, not on the
So profile
uh,
score is 12th undergrad and essays. That's all.
no 12th, your undergrad CAT or GMAT or GRE score, your
Huh.
essays, your activities, and other things. The skill sets that we see, all that is the profile score, and then we shortlist you basis the profile score, and you have an interview score.
Okay. Amit, last year, when some of the rejected candidates seek the feedback, many of them got the feedback that everything was fine, including the interview also, but their graduation was low, which became the reason of
Hmm.
reject. So, have you given very high weightage to the graduation score? Does that
No.
mean that people who have low graduation cannot make it?
No. We're not given very high weightage to graduation scores per se. I would say that there are also a lot of people with low scores in CAT or high scores in CAT who have not made it. It's a combination of different things. So people with lower scores in graduation also have got through. But when you get a feedback that your graduation score is low, it's in
Hmm.
conjunction with something else as well. Maybe you something else need to be higher, which was not maybe. So that's how they should read this particular feedback.
Okay, because I saw this pattern a lot where it was said that only graduation was 7 out of 10, and that became a reason. There was a candidate who scored very high on the interview parameters, and
Hmm.
he was led national level
So,
host player also.
yeah, yeah. So the thing is, if he went to the interview,
Hmm.
then the graduation scores have already been accounted for. So graduation scores are accounted for at the interview profile score stage. And once the candidate goes to the interview, we add your interview scores and profile score together to get your overall score. And overall score has graduation parameters, of course, as a part of it because of the virtue of being a profile score. But since he went to the interview stage, it means that he had a chance in the interview. But then the pool is so strong.
Hmm.
If you look at that, could be the reason they could not make it.
Okay. So if someone has low graduation score, let's just say, and low 12th also, now it cannot be changed.
It cannot change.
What that candidate can do if he or
That
she was.
candidate can score higher on the test scores, or that candidate can showcase other activities that they have. And also, it's not that having low scores alone is an indicator of your academic profile. It could also be other factors, which institution you went to, which university you went to, what degree you are pursuing, what course you are pursuing, and any other additional certification that you might have. If there's a CFA, if there is any other certification, all those also could help you improve your academic scores. And it's not just your scores per se that we look at. We look at academic profile, and that will include your institute, university, and so on and so forth as well. So, somebody who has been able to, get into IIT, let's say one of the top IITs, if their scores is a bit low, they still have a better chance than somebody who's from a tier two or tier three college by virtue of their having higher, uh, you know, ranks in their one of the entrance examination, which is again a very academic in orientation. So due weightage is given to that, but not very undue weightage. So that is also something which plays out. So it's not just about your scores, but per se, but a combination of 5 or 6 things in the academic profile.
Okay, got it. Amit, you said CAT average is 99.19, right?
Yeah, correct.
So again, uh, can we say that it is very much like IIMs where only high CAT score is being preferred? Because 99.19 is a very high CAT score.
It's
So,
a That's a median score, I would say. So half the people are above 99 and half the people are below. And I think in terms of IIMs, if you look at there are a lot of IIMs now, but if you look at the
hmm,
top three IIMs,
hmm.
what I gather, and I know being from one of them way back or not now,
Yeah,
is that
yes.
uh, there, if you look at the CAT score plays a very vital role in the selection for the interview.
Yes, it
You
does.
have
That's
to
what
have
I wanted to
90%
clarify. Is it the
no,
case
no, no.
with us also?
That's not the case with ISB. We look at you. We have give a chance to the candidates to showcase the other parameters, and hence our cutoffs or averages would be slightly lower. I don't think any IIMs would have 99.16 as a cutoff.
Hmm.
Consider the fact that we don't have any reservations. Also, it's not pure merit based, a score that we have.
Okay. Just to let everyone know here, Amit himself is PGP graduate from IIM Calcutta, if I remember correctly, Amit.
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay. Thank you, Amit. That kind of clarified a lot of things. Now, uh, before I, give it to people here, for so that they can ask their queries directly, uh, any preferences you have for GMAT, GRE, CAT? Like, do you look at?
No, so even for PGP, we take both GMAT and GRE, and there's no preference for that as well. There
Hmm.
as well, and here also there's no preference. So idea is to be able to give candidates an opportunity to take whichever test they feel convenient to write. I know a lot of people write CAT because it's kind of a now a culture in
Yes.
campuses in India that you attempt CAT in your final year, and we want all those people to also be able to apply to ISG. But with GMAT and GA, the other benefit is that you can take it anytime, and those scores are valid for a longer time. And hence, we also accept those two tests. So, ideally, what I'll suggest is candidates to write CAT, and they have an idea of how they have done. And in case they feel that the CAT wasn't up to the mark, they still have a chance to take a GMAT or GRE and apply in later rounds. So that's how I would suggest a strategy you can accept. You can kind of go around. That's what I've seen a lot of people do last year. That's why I'm giving this. So that's one thing which can also be looked at, and hence having three tests gives an advantage to the aspirants, and for us also as a school ensures that we get the best candidates to come and be part of the cohort.
Okay. Now, let's talk about interview. Who is taking the interview?
Yeah. So
No,
for PGP,
sorry. I want also to know who is reading the essays this time.
yeah. So essays are read by the admissions committee and other faculty members as well who are part of the panel. So they all read the essays.
So AdCom and faculties are reading the
Yeah.
essays.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, fine enough.
Yeah.
And all essays are being read manually, or you have some
Yes. Yes.
tool
We
to
have manually or essays are read manually,
all essays are read strictly
yeah.
manually.
Strictly
Okay,
man.
okay. And then someone reaches the interview stage. Now, who is taking the interview and
Yeah.
what parameters, roughly, if you can tell us, which you are evaluating during the interview?
Sure. So now before the interview, you also have two on-the-spot essays to be written, just
Okay.
like what we have in the
Yeah.
PGP. And those are the written assessment tests, essentially, where on topics will be given and you type in your essays before the interview. And then in the interview, there's a panel which comprises of faculty members, industry leaders, and alums. So we invite people across the spectrum, not just alums. Unlike PGP, where we look at alums because people are more experienced, and we want to map their industries to their uh, 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 in to the alums who are working in those industries. Here, it's more about your potential because a lot of candidates are fresh out of the
Yeah.
college, or they have a few years of work experience. So, hence, we look at admission committee members, faculty, industry leaders, and alums, a combination of that. So in a candidates panel, you could have any of those people. You could have either a panel of an alum and a faculty, or a panel of an alum or an industry leader, or a panel of a staff member and an industry leader who will be interviewing the candidates. Now, what we look at for the in the in the candidates is one is achievement orientation. That's something we look at. When I say achievement orientation, it could be a history of achievement in any of the fields. Could be in acads. You could be somebody who has been, doing very well in acads throughout. And that's why that question came in that, what if people have lesser acads? But if you, it's not just restricted to acads, it's also restricted to other things. You could have very good in extracurriculars. You could have very good in sports. You could have very good achievement in this maybe research, patents, publications. You could have, side hustles. You could have startups. You could have a YouTube channel, which is very popular. So that is one aspect that we look at in the interview. Second is we look at evidences of leadership potential, which what I talked about. And when I say leadership potential, it's not leadership designations or positions. Leadership potential is the word here that we look at. We look at your problem solving skill sets. So you might be tested on your how you approach problems in terms of through your earlier projects and so on and so forth. And we look at how differently you think, lateral thinkers in terms of your entrepreneurial mindset or creativity is what will be tested in the interview. And it will be purely based on your application. So you don't expect any question which is, offbeat. Let's say, who is the president of Iran? Or
Yeah.
what do you think of the current geopolitical situation? No, it's about your application, your essays, your aspiration, your motivation. That will be deep dived into the interview. So whatever you write in the application, be rest assured that that will be discussed in the interview, and interview will be heavily dependent on your application. Hence, we encourage all the candidates to write their attend their applications in very methodical manner. Don't rush in. Don't fill it in an hour or two. Don't just type in essays in one go. Take some time, introspect and then maybe submit your application. Is what my advice to them.
So just to repeat, one is achievement orientation, and the second you said was
Leadership potential. Uh,
okay.
uh, then we had entrepreneurial or creative mindset, problem solving skill sets. These are a few things we look at. There could be other things which could be like your resilience and grit, how resilient you are. It could be not, we don't look at all of this for all the candidates. It's for the candidates to showcase a couple of this or a few of this. So you can't be all the things, right? But there are
Hmm.
certain skill sets where we look at, shows evidence of two or three, and I think that should be good enough for you.
And are they graded between 1 to 5 for all these parameters?
That's how it works. Yeah.
Okay, fine enough. Now, uh, the number of seats remain the same for next batch as well?
So next batch, we're slightly increasing the seats. So
Oh,
we had 130 this year. We'll be having 160 in the coming batch.
okay,
So
160.
we added new infrastructure at our
I
campus
saw, yeah.
now. Yeah, so so we are able to now take in more students.
Okay. So I think I am clear about the admission process. Now, uh, people can ask their questions. Please keep it limited to the admission part. Maybe we can also discuss about placements and everything at the towards the end of this call. But please ask the questions in the chat, or you can unmute also and ask directly to save time. Uh,
Sure.
Before someone does that, I'll read out the comments that are posted. So someone has asked, Prano has asked, will having a national or international sports experience as an athlete, will it help if
Definitely.
GMAT is 645?
Definitely. I mean, see, somebody with 655 is in the class right now. and 645 with international sports experience, and that's something really good. I would say.
Okay. The $1 million question, R1 versus R2.
See, either is fine now. So we have ensured over the last few years rigorously that there is no disadvantage across the rounds, across the programs. So whether you're applying round one or round two, in terms of evaluation and scholarships, we make sure that you have an equal chance across the two rounds. So apply whenever you feel you're ready. But yes, applying early has its advantages. I would always say you apply early, you get your results early, and then you have more time to integrate into the ISB ecosystem and prepare for your journey. So if you're ready, if you're prepared, apply in round one. Don't procrastinate. But first thing is to be completely ready with your application. If you are, do it in round one. Else, you can also do it in round two.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, Kanak, you have raised your hand. You can ask.
Yeah. Hi, Amit. Am I audible?
Hi.
Yes.
You are.
All right. Just this is regarding the LOR that we're supposed to submit.
Mhm.
All right. Just to get an idea of what you all expect from the LOR, I am working a job at the moment. So
Mhm.
now I can have the LOR from my executive director who's at a really good post for 12 years in the company, or it could be my direct manager who would know me closely, but the case is the same with my executive director. So now, I mean, is the perception that manager, since he's working directly with me, would know me better, and maybe, I don't know, the AD would give off an impression that, it's not very thorough.
So it's about the content of the LOR. There's series of questions designed in the LOR, which somebody who has watched you closely in a professional environment will be able to best answer. So that's something for you to decide. Now, if you feel that the ED or your manager, both of you, you've worked closely with, then either is fine in my opinion. But the judgment is yours. But who will be able to do justice to validating your skill sets is what you need to do. Don't go for somebody higher up in the hierarchy just because they are higher up in the hierarchy. They should know you well in a professional environment. They should have overseen your work, or they should have interacted closely with you on projects and so on and so forth. That's what is required.
All right, that makes sense. And now that I have undergraduation is complete and I've been working a job for a year and a half now, it's more relevant to get an LOR from the job environment than
Yes,
college, right?
yes,
Okay,
it's
right.
relevant.
All right, that makes sense. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Yes, Abhyudaya, you can unmute and you can ask.
Hello, I'm audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Good evening, sir. First of all, so is there a division between R1 and R2 seats, or is it purely based on the kind of application that you get?
It's based on cutoffs. So cutoffs can go down across the rounds, but they cannot go up. So we decided cutoff in round one. It is going to be same across round two. It couldn't go down, but not up. So that's how we manage, evaluations across both the seats. So there is no fixed quota as such. Depends on the application.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, Navya. Navya has a special case which we would want to discuss.
Hi, Anshul. Hi, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, so actually, I started working on 3rd of June 2024. So as of 15 June of this year, I would have 24 months plus say 12 days of work experience. So while I'm applying, I would have about 1 year and 6 months of work experience.
Mhm.
So during the application process, how am I supposed to go about it? Because I probably intend to quit by say April.
Mhm.
In that case? I mean, can a provisional letter be shared by me, or what do you think is the solution here?
So I don't think there's a solution. I think you're not eligible to apply unless you quit your job at this moment. If you're working, the assumption the system will make is that you will be working till 15th of June. So you're not eligible for PGPYL in that sense.
But then
So,
she's
but
not eligible for PGP as well because she
She'll
will
be
be.
not eligible for
exactly,
PGP also this year. Yeah, you're right.
yeah. So, I
Yeah.
mean, is there anything that can be done in this scenario besides quitting?
No.
Waiting for 1 year.
You're waiting for 1 year. You should apply to PGP next year then.
But there are
Uh,
many such candidates who will be facing the same
Yeah,
problem.
I
Navya.
understand that. And a lot of such cases have come last year as well. But that's a gap that is always there. I'll suggest people who are not neither here nor there it's better for them to apply to PGP next year.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Okay. Now, yeah, Dhanush, you can.
Hello. Good evening, Anshul. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
So, my question is, what kind of applications or profiles you see the differences between the applications or profiles people who are applying in round one and round two?
What kind of difference do we see in terms of applications and profiles? See, as such, there's not much difference because it's about timing of the people. We find a lot of people with GMAT and GRE apply in later rounds because for those tests, you need to have the test score in hand. While for CAT, you can apply right away, how confident you are with the prep and so on and so forth. So that's the only difference I foresee, but they're good profiles across both the rounds.
Okay, got it, sir. Thank you.
Okay, for the previous question which Navya asked, I have another input to give. So, if your WorkX is starting from, let's say, 3rd June, but if you've graduated after 3rd June, then your WorkX will only start after the date of your graduation. So that could be a technical thing if you would want to look at when did you graduate. So your full-time work experience is after your graduation date. So that is something that people want to look at. So if you graduated after 15th June, then your WorkX will not be counted from 3rd to 15th. So that's something you might want to look at.
Okay, sir. So my graduation day would be the day of like whatever's written in my degree.
Yes, correct.
Oh, then perfect. That's great. Thank you so
So
much.
whatever is before your graduation will be part-time work experience.
Yeah. This should be highlighted to everyone here because this many people in both PGP and PGPYL keep asking anything that you have done, even though you did it full time, but you were not a graduate by then, official graduate, it will be considered part-time by ISB.
Correct.
Otherwise, the system will not allow you to go ahead with the application. Okay. Yeah, Sathak, you can unmute and ask.
Hi, sir. If someone has a certain gap in his employment, for example, for fulfilling those 2 years, so would that be seen in a negative view by ISB? Like
in the profile score, no.
Mhm.
In the interview, of course, question could come up why there's a gap. They do not know that you did it for being eligible and all. And if it's 1 or 2 months, I think there are answers for that that you might want to prepare or narratives that you might want to give. But I think 1 or 2 months gaps is not something which is very significant in today's world. So nobody's going to check why were you not working for 1 month or 2 months. But it's better to have a narrative around that. Why and so on and so forth. And I think it's fair to say that you were sure that you would get into a B school this year, if not this, any other B school. So you took time off to prepare for that. That could also be one of the narratives, in my opinion.
And is there a minimum graduation cutoff date for this PGPYL program?
There's no graduation cutoff date. For example, you might want to, the classes will start in last week of June. So we'll allow you to, join the program as long as you've completed your last day of exam. Last year, I think there was some arrangement made for some students because some students have the last exam in July. So as long as you give an undertaking that you will submit your final degree or provisional degree by so and so date, you are allowed to be part of the cohort.
And what about the grad year? I mean, can the students, for example, someone of grad year, for example, let's say
There's no
2022,
cutoff on grad year. So it's about work experience, not on the grad year. So you could have
Okay.
graduated in 2023 or 2022, but you still have 2 years of work experience because you're preparing for something, or you can still apply.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Yeah, Lakshay.
Hi, sir. Thanks a lot for this session, first of all.
Hi.
I had a couple of questions. The first one being about LORs. So I graduated in 2023. Then I pursued the distance learning PG diploma from IIT Madras, which is in data science.
BSc.
Right. And after that, I have been working actively in my family business. Right. At my family business, I report, directly to my family. There's no other non-family member who's sort of my head. In such a case, do I take a letter of recommendation? So I was very active in my extracurriculars in college, and I can
take
get
it
a
to a
good
customer or
letter
a
of
client,
recommendation
I
from
would
there.
say.
So should I go ahead and do that?
Customer or a client, I would say.
So it's a retail store, so we don't have like long-serving clients per se.
Okay. Got it. Then a family member, I don't think is allowed for a recommendation. You might have to look at something else, some activity or anything else that you're part of.
Lakshay, can you mute yourself? There is a lot of echo at your side. Please mute yourself. Yeah, Amit, please go ahead.
Yeah. So I think you've done a diploma from IIT Madras. Somebody from there could also recommend you, in my opinion. IIT Madras. Somebody from there.
Okay. Kanan, please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. Sir, for example, I submit the two scores, GMAT and CAT, and will the higher score be considered? And if
Yes.
the CAT is low or the GMAT is low, will it be seen like as a negative?
No, it will not be.
And also, sir, what is the expectation out of a candidate, like in terms of how clear he or she is in terms of the long-term plans? Because someone can fake it, obviously, because at this stage of life, we are not very sure about what do we need to do. So, like,
Correct. So I totally understand that at this stage of life, not very clear. So we expect you to have some clarity in terms of broad directions or options. We know that, at this stage you are not clear, but at least you should have thought it out that maybe this is what I want to do. These are my skill sets. This is what ISB will give me, and this is what 2 or 3 industries I might want to work in. That is what we want to see, a logical thread or connecting the dots. We know that you may not do that tomorrow, because you may go to ISB and you may get exposed to a lot of other things and change your mind. And that's perfectly all right. Nobody's going to come and check that this is what you said in an interview or doing something different. That's a part of life. But what we're looking at right now is how well you're able to connect your dots, or what thought process you have in terms of doing an MBA and how it helps your career. Have you thought through at least 2-3 options?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, he's not here. Ayush.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
Good evening, sir. Sir, I wanted to ask that, as you said, that the WorkX is not weighted. So I wanted to ask that, does ISB consider the quality of work experience? Let's say if I take about my case, I am currently working in a startup, but the kind of role which I got here is different having much more of a leadership potential, because here I'm managing a group of software developers with a small team. Whereas another offer which I had, but I did not join it, was of a big tech company. But when I interned there once, I realized that maybe this is not something which is too challenging for me, or maybe it is something that I'm just going there to mark my attendance, just doing 1-2 tasks. So how does, which one would be preferred more?
The first one will be preferred more because you answered yourself. You have more leadership potential here, right? And that's one of the qualities I talked about. So when I say WorkX is not counted, it's that you don't get any automatic points for WorkX.
Yeah.
But we look at skill sets that you have gained from your WorkX. That will be helpful to you over somebody who has not got those skill sets. So some people who come with WorkX will have an edge in terms of showcasing or highlighting their activities, which others can also have. But you have something extra. So that might help in other parameters. But there are no points for WorkX is what I want to clarify.
So just one follow-up question. Let's say if someone wants to get into some field post MBA, they see themselves in certain role. Let's say if I talk about myself, I want to get into a product owner or a product manager kind of a role. And so having a relevant experience as a developer or as a Scrum Master would be more useful.
Regarding the product role, so I'm not sure exactly what the requirements for product manager are. Because I'm not from that particular field. But yeah, your prior experience, if you have something which aids to that particular field, let's say if you want to go into finance and you have certifications, definitely gives you an edge in the placements. If you want to go into product management and you have a developer role or a Scrum Master role, it'll give an edge. But it's not necessary that somebody who doesn't have it will not be getting it, or you will get it because you have that those experience. It depends on the holistic process and what you how you showcase yourself in the interview and the placements.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, Ananya, then Kanak, then Shankar, then Malavya.
Yeah, hi, sir. So I actually wanted to know what, according to you, is a low score. Suppose in a tier 1 university versus a tier 3 university.
What is a
Would
low
there be
score?
any
No,
difference?
no. See, their scores are different across universities, right? For example, some universities, the median score is 90. Everybody's getting almost 80, 90, 900. In some universities or some degrees, let's say psychology or some colleges, 70 is the highest. The topper has 70, right? So we have those databases from last 20 years and we normalize those scores like that. So I can't say right now that, 70 is lowest for tier 3 or 90 is the highest score for tier 1, nothing like that. It's a combination of various things. A lot of normalization process happens in the scores. So there's no low or high score, which I can say like this.
Okay. And is there any preference towards students from premier institutes?
No.
There's no preference, but you may have some additional points.
Okay. I'm not talking about IITs as such, but I'm talking about suppose nationalized institutes like Manipal or Thapar, because people from all over India go there, so they have more exposure
Hmm.
against localized institutes where only people say so from a state or city go to. So that's
So
what I wanted to ask.
yeah, that is one thing that is part of your learning journey. But there are a lot of city-based colleges or localized colleges which are also highly ranked. So it's all
Correct.
about rankings in various publications and so on. So which also play a role in that sense. So you can't say that an X college is a localized, so students from that should get a low score. That college may be good, right? In a lot of other sense, in terms of placements, in terms of research, in terms of a lot of other parameters. So there's no clear-cut answer there, in my opinion.
I agree.
So so we don't do such biases or differentiations basis localized or other things. We look at broad parameters to look at your institute scores.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so Amit, just a follow up to that. You said there are some extra points if you are from some institutions.
For
So,
example, yeah, I can give an example. Let's say you are from an IIT Bombay and your CGPA is, let's say, 7. Vis-a-vis somebody is from a tier 3 college and their CGPA is 7. So definitely the guy from IIT Bombay would have slight edge
so
because of
slight
the
edge
virtue of,
in okay, slight edge in which part of the weight?
academic scores part of the things,
Academic.
because that person has got into a higher colleges versus somebody who not try to get into now. But on the other side, somebody from the other college has a 9.5 CGPA, somebody from IIT has a 7 CGPA, then I think more or less there will be even students because the other guy has kind of lost their edge in the score section in the institute. But that's how we see it.
Do you have a list of institutes where these extra points will be provided?
So it's not extra points. I say extra edge is what we can say. And we do have a list of institutes. We do look at institutes in terms of various rankings and so on and so forth
Okay, and is it across all specialities?
across all the specialties.
Because let's just say for medicine,
Hmm.
not the colleges are not really perceived. Okay, this college is really better and this college is not, like they do in engineering. So how do you account for that?
So there are a lot of rankings available. If you look at NRF rankings, that's one
Okay.
of the parameters. You look at no other the now QS the T and other all rankings are there. So there are now a lot of criteria in terms of research and so on and so forth. And I think the NRF is very exhaustive in terms of the way they grade their institutions in terms of various parameters.
Mhm. Okay, so NRIF ranking is one of the ways to
Yes, yeah.
look at colleges for
Yeah. Yeah.
for other specialities.
And but what I want to clarify is that it's not a very high edge. So let's not focus on candidates saying that I'm from this college, so I have an edge in the process. That edge can fizzle out very soon because it's a very nuanced and long process. It's not just about your college; it's about your scores. It's not just about your academics. It's about your test scores, about the how you portray yourself, your essays, your interviews, and so on and so forth. So it's just that in the academics, if you have what I want to stress is that we give due weightage for your achievements in other areas also. For example,
Hmm.
when I say the IIT example, why the IIT guy or NIT guy, or let's say anybody who gets into a premier college gets slightly higher points is because they have cleared an entrance examination or they've got higher scores in the in the maybe this state FG or IT mains and so on and so forth. So that's the criteria.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that, Amit. Yeah, Shankar and Malavya, you can ask.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, my question is regarding academics.
Mhm.
I had to drop out of engineering due to a chronic medical condition, resulting
Mhm.
in a 4-year gap in between.
Mhm.
And I've pursued my second undergraduation.
Mhm.
How much of a deal breaker is this, and what can I do to highlight my profile and application? Any tips that
So
you
you
can say?
dropped out of undergrad once, took a 4-year
Yes, sir.
break, and redid your undergrad again, right?
No, sir. I had to drop out of engineering while I was doing it. So I
Okay.
did like 3 years of study. There was 1 year of gap in between
Okay.
the engineering as
Okay.
well.
Okay.
I
Okay.
dropped
Okay.
out
Okay.
and
So
pursued
yeah.
my.
So I don't think that will be a big of a deal breaker in the profile score where we look at what you've done, but definitely in the interview you might have questions around it, and that's where you want to handle it through the right answers.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, Malav.
Yeah. Good evening, Anshul. Good evening, Amit.
Good evening.
So my question is regarding the holistic evaluation process. I believe my profile is fairly all-rounded, but I do not have certain spikes to say. I'm not a
Hmm.
national level. For example, I enjoy playing table tennis. I enjoy doing yoga, and
Hmm.
I have decent academics in college. But I do not have such spikes. I'm not a state level player. I do not have
Hmm.
a certification in yoga, nor am
Hmm.
I the gold medalist in my college. So how can I uh, showcase my profile in a more holistic way as to maximize my chances of admission?
Yeah. See, one thing is that there's a lot of misperception among the candidates that you need to have a spike per se. That if you're pursuing a sport or if you're pursuing something, needs to be at a national level. Yes, if it is there, you get additional points, you get points for it. But let's be honest, not everybody can be at the national level or not everybody can be state level. If you think you have a holistic profile, if acads are decent, if you have fairly well-rounded hobbies in terms of table tennis, yoga, and other things, with you enjoy those activities and you have a fair level of expertise, and if you've got a decent test scores, then you have the decent profile, right? And then you don't need a spike just to stand out. People who need spikes, people who have something lower in the other areas. If you have an average profile, I think, are the best place to be in terms of the selection criteria, in my opinion.
Then what should be my major focus on? Because let's say I have an
See,
average
acads
profile.
are done and dusted. What you should now
Exactly.
focus on is your clarity.
An
The
application.
essays, the application, the clarity, what kind of narrative you build for yourself, and the test score.
Got it.
Those are two things in your hand.
Understood. Just another follow-up question. Is the chances of getting in round two better than that of R1?
No, both
Malavya,
are
please listen to the entire session. It is already discussed. Let's not waste our
both are same.
time.
Yeah, both are same.
Yeah. All
Okay.
right. Thank you.
Shagun, you can go ahead and ask.
Okay, thanks. Hi, everyone. So, Amit, my question for you is, how does ISB look at industry change? So, for my specific case, I was a previous worker in the audit industry, and then I switched to HR, which is like completely different. And then previously, I was working in a big four, but then I switched to a very normal startup. So, what is ISB's take on that?
See, there is no take from our side. It's how you put it. You have to answer why did you do the switch, what were the reasons, and how it aids your long-term goals. So when you did the switch, there'll be certain reasons for it, right? Could
Yes.
be personal, but then you have to look at the bigger picture and try to correlate that shift to your the bigger picture. For example, I want to go into a particular industry, and that people's skills are very highly sought after, and this role helped me build those people skills. Now, along with this, an MBA and people skills, I'll now target so and so industries. That's how it should be. So we don't look at anything negatively. It's how you showcase it that's more important.
Mm, got it. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Ananya Kulkarni, you can ask your query.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, hi, good evening. So my case is I'm having a citizenship of United States, and but I've finished my education from first grade to my engineering over here. I mean in India. So I wanted to know if I will be evaluated. I will be considered for the NRI, or will I be considered for the Indian?
So you'll be considered as an international student, but there's no difference in being an international student or Indian student. The evaluation criteria is same, and also the fees are same. Only difference is for you, international scholarship will be applicable. So we offer up to 75% of tuition fee waivers to international students. So you could be eligible for that. So that's the only difference. Otherwise, in terms of evaluation, in terms of your fee, in terms of experience on the campus, you'll be as good as any other student, except that if you might need visa support and other things, we'll be proactively helping you out with all those things as to be able to join the program.
All right. And just one more question. What are the criterias that will be evaluated for our scholarship?
Yeah,
Like what?
good question.
Yeah. So for scholarship, we look at there are two types: merit and merit cum need scholarship. So merit scholarship is for people, who are higher up in the merit order in the evaluation process. So I mentioned profile score, interview score, both put together as an overall score. So higher up in the overall score you are, higher your chances of scholarship. Merit cum need is for people with annual family income of less than 18 lakhs per annum. So if your annual family income is less than 18 lakhs per annum, then all of you are eligible for a fee waiver. Now, depending upon your merit, the fee waiver will be decided whether you get 100%, whether you get 50%, or whether you get 33%. So minimum is 33% and maximum is 100% fee waivers, which we offer to students across both the categories.
Maximum is 50%.
100%. Minimum is 33%.
33 to 100%.
All right. Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, so the last set of question we will discuss, we will take up from Varun, and then Arvind, and then Mit, Rahman, and Parth. Then we will end the session.
Sure. Go ahead, Varun.
Hi Amit, can you please specify an idea of what colleges in engineering domain does the AdCom consider in the tier 1 bracket? Like I'm from BITMESRA, in which bracket do you think it will lie in?
See, there's no
Right.
tier per se, as you mentioned. There's a ranking for colleges, and I would say it's a very broad ranking. We don't say that this 10 are good, this 20 are not are medium, this 20 are this thing. There are 500 to 600 colleges in engineering alone with very good applications from, and there are so many colleges across the country in various other domains. So you'll know yourself, and as if you mentioned a college which starts with bits and everybody else knows it, it would be good, right? So don't. That's why I wanted to say that don't get into this game of is my college good enough or not? Is my college that's a very small difference there, which you can easily overcome in other areas. So don't bother about whether your college is good or whether your college is not good. It doesn't matter that much.
Okay, I think that is clear to Varun. Arvind, you can please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm from the healthcare field. I'm a doctor actually. I'll be completing my post-graduation in pediatric medicine in this October. So I'll be getting my MD degree in a month or two. I'm planning to pivot into healthcare consulting, and disclaimer, I'll be applying to ISB for the next year. I have two questions. My entire experience work has been clinical. I've been working as a full-time resident for the last years with an internship prior to that. Will that be considered as clinical experience? And the follow-up question is that I'll be giving my GMAT in a month or two. If I get a not so good score in GMAT, would I still have an edge over other people? Thank you.
Okay. So your clinical experience is part of your degree, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Your final year is part of your degree, and in the PG also you have 2 years, which is part of degree. So that is not
3
counted
years.
as work. Second year. So that is not counted as work experience, since this is part of requirement of your undergrad and masters. So that is not work experience. Anything after your masters will be counted as work experience in your case. If you get, your second question was that would you have an edge in the process if you have a lower GMAT score? Depends on how many applicants are there, from different fields and how well they do. So it depends.
All right, thank you, sir.
Okay, yeah, Mitrash. I'm not sure if that's your real name. If it is,
Hi, my name is Meet Raj. Yes, sir. Hi,
Meet.
Anshul. Hi, sir.
hi.
Hi.
So currently, I'm a fourth year student. Currently doing my undergrad. I am yet one semester to graduate. My question was that I am currently targeting B schools, preparing for it. So there is this notion that for placements, the students, the people with more work ex are preferred during placements, not during admissions. As you said, it is not a big factor. So, do you think that is true? Because I am currently trying to go into a B school, but because of this notion of getting this, I am confused to get a job for 1.5 years and then apply, or to do it beforehand. It's a
No,
bit
I would say
confusing
that
for me.
if you have decided to do an MBA, the sooner the better, because that's your goal. Right? Why waste time? Any time that you lose now is a loss of opportunity cost. I would say. Now regarding placements, so what we have feel or what my personal interaction when I do with a lot of alums and a lot of people who come to recruit is that 0 to 3 years or is freshers, right? People don't even consider your work experience until you have 3 to 4 years of work experience. You'll be treated as freshers and you look for or looked at for entry level roles. But whatever you have gained, learned, the skill sets, they may be looked at, as relevant for certain roles depending upon what the company requires. But otherwise, most of you would be, they may give an edge, but you will be looked at as freshers, is what my experience. And I'm not sure, Anshul, in your batch also, you would have seen the same. People with 0 to 3 years mostly would go for entry level roles or until 4. So don't bother about that. Look at getting skills. That's more important. And if you've decided to do an MBA, go ahead for it.
Yeah, okay. Because right now I'm on a crossroad for preparing for placements and for the B schools as well. So I'm pretty confused on where to focus more because I can't leave placements and focus on a B school. If I don't get in a B school, then it's a juncture for me. So I think that clears up the question. Okay, thank you.
Okay, I think that was very much clear. Yeah, Rahman and then Parth.
Hello, sir. Hello,
Hello.
Anshul.
Hi.
Sir, I had some doubt that I did a startup during my graduation days. What are the things to show to justify my startup journey in my I did my graduation days?
See, if you're going to show it as work experience, then some documentation might be required.
No,
If you
sir, in
show it
my
as an
graduation days.
I know,
During
I
my
know.
graduation.
So you might want to show it as part-time work experience in the graduation. If you show it as an activity, then won't need a certificate, but it could be discussed in depth in the interview. So if you've actually done it, if you're aware of the nuances of your business, the startup, that will help, right?
Yeah,
So
I had
it's your
total business
choice.
model.
Yeah. So if they're your choice, if you want to show it as part-time, then some documentation might be required in terms of your incorporation or GST or any sales receipts or anything which is on paper. If it's an activity, no documentation is required. It's just your skill sets you've gained, the awareness you've gained, the business model that you've built. All those might be discussed in the interview.
Yes, sir, I got it. And another doubt is, do research paper and textbook publication in
Add
my
a
current
value.
in my current role where I'm working supply chain category are worth uh, or add points with respect to my profile?
Definitely, definitely. Research papers and publications are definitely something we'd look at positively.
And textbook publications also.
Yes, yes, textbook also, yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. That's what I. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, yeah, Parth.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving me a chance to ask this question. Actually, Amit had attempted to apply for YLP last year when I was in final year, and I plan on applying for YL this year because I'm under 2 years of experience. While this is the case, I'm also working in government consulting, and my client is is appreciative of my work, and he is ready to document it. So, as from an application standpoint, uh, I don't know when how I'll be in contact with him in future if the suppose the project ends. Is it better to take a letter, or should I ask him to write a recommendation on the application portal that usually
Application portal
happens?
itself. Recommendation application portal, I think, is a better option.
Okay. But in case if I happen to document it as a letter or so, is there
Hmm.
any option on the application portal where I can upload certain?
No, there's
Oh,
you can
oh,
give it.
okay,
It's a client, so no, there's no option.
okay, okay. Yeah. And I hope in YL, even though it's like a program for people with lesser work ex, for those who have the quality of work ex probably counts, if I'm right.
It counts.
Okay.
Quality will
Okay.
count here. It will
Okay.
add the skill sets, so you'll have more to showcase. No.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Sure.
Okay.
So
There are some questions in the chat that I will, Amit, if you don't mind staying with us for a few more minutes. I don't want to take a lot of your time, especially during this peak hour. People are asking which documents will work for internship. There are a lot of noise among PGP people also about documents. So,
I think there's an internship certificate that a lot of people get. Or if it's a paid internship, you'll be getting those TDS documents or the slips given mentioning the duration. Those should do. So we're not very particular about things as long as you can clearly show that you worked and there's an official document. That's perfectly fine.
okay, fine enough. And this is a very good question. Someone has asked, will certifications like CFA help?
Yes,
Is there any
definitely.
objective weightage that if you have a CFA, you will get some?
Yeah, there are other certification section which adds to ACADS. Definitely, it helps.
So, what are some of the certifications that will definitely help in increasing the academic score? CFA is the
CFA of definitely the CFA ones will help, and anything that adds to your overall goal. Let's say you want to go into finance, any finance certificates or anything in other areas, project management certificate, and all those things. All of them help.
so CFA, PMP, anything else that
PMP,
you
yeah.
have like?
Anything which is relevant to the profile definitely will help.
Okay.
I would
Now,
not suggest doing them just for the sake of ISB, but if it's relevant to a profile, definitely adds. It shows you've taken initiative to add to your skill sets.
okay, fine enough. Uh, what about family business? There are people with family business also. How are they evaluated? That is one. And
Yeah.
second, they are not drawing a salary. So how they will show their work experience?
So they have to get a self-declaration, a declaration by the company and authority of the organization with clearly stating the responsibilities that the person is doing. And I'll suggest start drawing a salary. At least if you're working, try and get your pocket money in your bank account. So that's what I suggest to all the candidates for family business. But if you are not doing till now, get a letter from the company authority clearly stating your responsibilities, and then there'll be anyways third-party verification later on as well.
Okay. Kanan is asking a question. I will give a chance to him to ask it again. Kanan, please go ahead and ask it.
Sir,
It might be relevant to other people also.
sir, since you mentioned about certification like CFA, sir, I have a Tabla Visharad. So it's also like a degree. So do I add it in the certification section and
Certifications.
okay, thank you, sir.
Sure.
Okay. I think we are done with all the questions. Amit, any parting notes to people? These are really serious people. I have seen them talking to each other, hustling, asking questions. So these are a really serious group of applicants. I have not talked to many of them one to one, but what I have gathered from the conversation that they are serious people. So what would you want to
So
tell them?
I know a lot of you are preparing for a lot of other B schools, a lot of all the B schools and examinations. But I want to stress one thing for the ISB, evaluation process. Introspection plays a very important role. Of course, prepare for a test, take time out for preparing for CAT, GMAT, GRE, but do introspect. Ensure your essays, your applications reflect your skill sets, and you have evidences to showcase those qualities or attributes that you are showcasing in the application. But do introspect and ensure that you get the right application filled in. The application will be the basis of your interview, and then interview will be a deep dive of your application. So that's what I want to leave with all the candidates. Don't just focus on the test per se, but also focus on your application. The essays play an important role.
Okay. I think that's it. People have realized the importance of giving enough time to the application and not do it like they do it for IIMs, where it is majorly decided by CAT. That is the major difference that I wanted everyone to note. Uh, Major difference between PGPYL and the typical PGP program at 2-year MBA. So thanks a lot, Amit, for your time, and I
Sure.
hope to see you soon.
Sure.
And all the best for the crazy admission days for both PGP and PGPYL that is coming very soon.
Thank you, and Anshul, and all the best to candidates here, aspirants here, and do reach out to us if you have any issues. I know there's still time, but start your preparation, and all the best to all of you, and good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anshul.